A chaotic scene outside an Indianapolis nightclub overnight. A man is gunned down as partygoers are let out of the bar. We'll have the latest on this investigation.
And after a gloomy start yesterday, we are going to see more sunshine today to finish off your weekend. I'll have the details.
And it's going to be a big day in Cleveland. What today's game could mean for the Colts' postseason goals.
From Indiana's news leader, Eyewitness News Weekend Sunrise starts now.
Good morning. Welcome to Weekend Sunrise on this Sunday. It's December 7th, 7 o'clock on this Sunday morning. I'm Jeremy Brilliant in for Naomi along with Kelly Green. 27 degrees, really unchanged over the last hour. Kind of a crisp morning out there.
Definitely is,
yep.
Yes. Yesterday we stayed above the freezing mark, so it will feel much colder out there this morning. But we'll see temperatures climbing back into the upper 30s later on this afternoon. Sunshine on tap. After a gloomy day yesterday, of course, we started off pretty wet too, but we have a few high clouds that will build in later on this afternoon. But temperatures are chilly this morning at 27 degrees, winds out of the east-northeast, 7 miles per hour. That's giving us a wind chill value of 19. So definitely bundle up as you head out this morning. It's 25 in Kokomo as well as Lafayette. 26 in Crawfordsville, 29 right now in Greensburg, and wind chills will continue to be impacting us throughout the day today. It feels like it's in the teens in many locations this morning. And taking a look at our future track 13 wind chill forecast, this is going to show you that this morning we'll stick with those wind chill values in the teens and low 20s, and then as we head into the afternoon, they'll still be in the low 30s. So we'll still see sunshine, so we'll be a little bit chilly with those breezy winds out of the east. Temperatures today climbing to near 39 degrees, mostly sunny skies. Then we'll see more clouds moving in tonight. The chance of rain tomorrow. I'll have the timing on that coming up in just a few minutes.
And new on Weekend Sunrise Saturday night, club goers had to walk through crime scene tape on their way out after a man was gunned down outside. This happened just after 2 this morning at the corner of East 38th Street and North Elizabeth near Shadeland Avenue. Officers say a man was shot in a parking lot near the Silhouette Club as groups of people were leaving. Medics say he had been shot multiple times and died at the scene. Dozens of people were walking through the area at the time, creating a unique challenge for police.
It was a little chaotic there for a while, but we had enough officers here to control it and move people away from where the crime scene was.
Minutes later, another victim that police believe was involved in that shooting showed up at Community Hospital East. They say he was uncooperative and left the hospital shortly thereafter. No arrests have been made in that case. Meanwhile, Metro Police still searching for suspects after Friday night shootings. The first happened just before midnight at the Portico Apartments on the west side. That's near 465 and Rockville Road. Officers found 36-year-old Latasha Elliott Strickland on the living room floor unconscious. She'd been shot and later died at the scene. Investigators say there were more than a dozen witnesses at that apartment, but right now no arrests have been made. And just a few hours later, shots fired at a liquor store and tavern on the east side. At least one of those shots hit 37-year-old David Thompson in the stomach. This happened inside the Rural Inn. Officers found him collapsed on the pavement near the back door. Thompson went to Eskenazi Hospital in critical condition. Again, no word yet this morning on a suspect in either of those weekend shootings. It is a day of remembrance today. Governor Mike Pence has asked that flags be flown at half-staff to honor the lives lost in the attacks on Pearl Harbor 73 years ago today. On December 7, 1941, just before 8 a.m., 400 Japanese warplanes attacked the home port of the U.S. Pacific Fleet. 2,400 Americans were killed, another 1,200 were wounded, as countless warships were either destroyed or badly damaged. The attack is what pulled the U.S. into World War II. Today, World War II vets and Pearl Harbor survivors will attend a ceremony overlooking the memorial to the USS Arizona battleship that sank during that attack. An airman from Indiana is also being remembered for his service. 24-year-old Alec Dye disappeared earlier this week near the Air Force Base where he was stationed in Guam. His remains were discovered days later not far from that site. Here's Sunrise reporter Emily Longnecker with a tribute by his friends, family, and alma mater, a tribute they say Alec would have loved.
Well, these are the halls Alec Dye walked down as a high school student, and that's the basketball court where he played guard as a Decatur Central Hawk. It's also the same court where those who know and love him came to pay tribute to him.
all these kids right here. This shows you my son. He was loved and always will be loved by me, his dad, everybody here. I mean, Alex Strong.
A mother's strength in the face of unimaginable grief. Donna Dye remembered her son Saturday at a basketball game played in his honor.
Man, that guy loves basketball.
And it was on the court where Dye played for the Hawks that an entire gymnasium paused in a moment of silence to honor the Hoosier Airman who went missing earlier this week in Guam, where he was stationed. Friday, the Air Force announced a positive identification of his remains found near the base.
I think coming here is really where it's starting to hit home for a lot of us. It got real tonight.
And never more real than watching Dye's game jersey, number 15, be presented to his family in the same gymnasium where they once watched him play.
He's got so many memories in here. This is where he felt at home. This was his place.
A place where Saturday, everywhere you looked, there were reminders of Alec Dye. On the T-shirts people wore, in the yellow ribbons on their shirts, and at the one empty seat on the bench. A spot his family and friends say can never be filled by anyone else.
He's beautiful, and he's my baby, and I wish he was here.
Dye will be given a full military funeral and laid to rest at West Newton Cemetery. Emily Longnecker, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.
And funeral arrangements are still pending. The exact details there are still pending. This marks the second death this week of an Indiana service member. Staff Sergeant Matthew Ammerman from Noblesville was killed on Wednesday during an operation in Afghanistan. He was a decorated Special Forces soldier and belonged to a unit based in Florida. Funeral arrangements for him are still being made. A group of local soldiers will begin their tour of duty today. About 160 National Guardsmen based in Franklin are deploying to Kuwait to conduct engineering operations. They'll leave this morning after a send-off ceremony at Indian Creek High School in Trafalgar. Public is invited to see them off. It is 7:07, 27 degrees. Crisp is the word of the morning, I think.
It is, yes. Certainly different from yesterday. We're running about 10 degrees colder than yesterday at this time. 25 is the current temperature in Kokomo, Zionsville 27, 25 in Carmel. We'll see it warm up today and definitely more sunshine. I'll have the details coming up.
And the midterm election was more than a month ago, but last night the Republicans scored another victory. We'll tell you where and how many seats they've now gained in the Senate. Also a sign of solidarity, the political stand that Chicago Bulls star Derrick Rose made before last night's game.
You were fine, but it's like they couldn't hear you too well because it was like too
The 2014 midterm election officially ended last night with another victory for Republicans. GOP challenger Bill Cassidy defeated Democratic Senator Mary Landrieu in the Louisiana Senate runoff. The win gives the party another victory in the final election of the 2014 midterms. Landrieu fought to make the election a referendum on her own performance rather than on President Obama. But Cassidy portrayed his candidacy as a way for voters to vote against the president.
On November the 4th, the American people sent a message. They sent a message that they did not like the direction our country was going in. Now you in this room, our state, is the exclamation mark on that message.
Republicans have now gained 9 seats in the U.S. Senate, giving them 54 seats total. And a lot of people are talking this morning about the shirts Bulls point guard Derrick Rose was wearing during his warm-up last night. The shirt had the words, "I can't breathe" on it, the phrase that has become the rallying cry for protesters seeking justice in the choking death of Eric Garner by New York police. Rose told his teammates about wearing the shirt before the game, but did not speak to members of the media afterward. And at last night's Big Ten championship game, Ohio State lineman honored his late teammate Costa Karageorge by wearing his number 53 jersey. Bennett would do the number justice by getting a sack. The Buckeyes would outscore that number by 6, winning 59-0 and taking home the Big Ten title.
And it is a chilly start across central Indiana. Taking a look at our WeatherBug network. 26 degrees right now downtown Indianapolis, 30 in Bloomington, 27 in Newcastle. We'll see a nice warm up today and certainly more sunshine. I'll have the details.
All right, who wants to go home with me? Today we're talking about fresh cut trees and how to take care of them.
I read through it ahead of time and didn't pay attention. Do we have Ugly sweater parties have become a staple of the holiday season. You get an invite and then you head to a thrift store to find the ugliest holiday sweater they have. But in Des Moines, Iowa, you may be surprised at how much those sweaters cost. A store has been snapping up the ugly tops, driving up the price.
We snatch them up from all the thrift stores. Like, we have a few buyers that go around and get all our recycled stuff. They're all from all across the country and send it to each individual store. So I think we get all the good ones from the thrift stores.
What is a good ugly sweater? The ugly sweater haven goes through 5 pallets of holiday sweaters every week. They price them according to the pattern and the fabric. The holiday season is full of sweets, but few can measure up to the treat served to people in Dresden, Germany. A 3-ton Christmas cake filled the city's Christmas market yesterday. The cake, called Stollen, was brought in on a horse-drawn carriage. It took 65 bakers 3.5 weeks to make the big treat. I love Stollen. Hot coffee and Stollen, and I wouldn't mind a few tons of it. I don't know if I could eat that much, but a few big pieces definitely.
Yes.
And a good morning for a hot cup of coffee or hot anything.
Yes, for sure. And if you are traveling this morning, you'll want to warm up your car for a few minutes because we do have some frost that's developed across the area, and that is due to the lack of cloud coverage. The clouds cleared out quite a bit during the overnight hours, but we're starting to see a few more clouds building back in. These are high cirrus clouds, really not going to impact much of our day at all, but it's all related with this upper level system. This is a quick clipper system that will move into the Great Lakes area as we head into tomorrow, and that will impact us tomorrow. But in the meantime, definitely a chilly start. Our Weather Bug Network temperatures 28 degrees in Seymour, 26 in Rossville, 25 in Crawfordsville, 26 in Connorsville. Our sky cam, a nice crisp start as the sun begins to rise this morning at 27 degrees. Wind chill value making it feel like it is 19, and temperatures running about 11 degrees colder than yesterday at this time, and it definitely is going to impact us this morning, but we'll see a decent warm up as we head into the afternoon right now with those temperatures in the mid-20s. But the wind chill value definitely making an impact, making it feel like it's in the teens this morning, but it will improve as we head into the afternoon. A lot of sunshine this morning. We'll start to see more of those clouds filtering in as we head into the afternoon, but a nice day today with temperatures climbing back into the upper 30s. Yesterday's high 40 degrees, similar to yesterday, but not as breezy. Winds will be out of the east 5 to 10 miles per hour, and we'll see mostly sunny skies. And it is going to be fantastic weather for the Cleveland Browns game with the Colts. Go Colts. Just great football weather. Temperatures climbing to around 39 degrees this afternoon. That kickoff at 1 o'clock. 37 degrees will be the temperature, and it will be a bit breezy, so it should be just a great day for some football there in Cleveland. For us back here at home, we'll see those clouds thickening up, especially later on tonight, and that will kind of put a lid on the temperatures. They'll likely fall back into the low 30s, perhaps a few upper 20s, but for the most part, we'll likely see temperatures right around the freezing mark tomorrow morning. So overnight lows right around 32 degrees and actually running a few degrees above average tomorrow morning. And we'll see more of those clouds thickening up as we head into the overnight hours. Winds will be out of the south-southwest from 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, our changes begin to move in tomorrow morning. Notice we start to see some precipitation in northern Illinois. That's all associated with this clipper system. It will drag a cold front across central Indiana. As you can see here, around 11:45, we'll start to see it crossing the Indiana border. As it moves in, not a whole lot, maybe a few tenths of an inch of precipitation with this. It will move on out of here by late afternoon into the early evening. On the back side of that system, we may see a few light snow showers, not expecting any accumulation out of that. Tomorrow, temperatures climb to 42 in Indianapolis, 38 the high in Peru, 42 degrees the high in Greencastle, 39 for Richmond. And here's a look at your 7-day forecast. 39 degrees the high for today, a much brighter day than yesterday. 41 on Monday, and again, we'll see some light rain possible throughout the mid-morning hours through the afternoon. Perhaps a few light snow showers Monday night, overnight low down to 30 degrees. Flurries will be possible on Tuesday. Otherwise, we're talking cloudy skies, colder, high of 36. Dry and sunny Wednesday, high of 35. And then as we go into next weekend, we are looking at a little bit of a warm-up. Temperatures actually climbing above normal.
Yeah, it feels good. And for December, again, we could be having snowstorms and everything, so
yep.
This is a good deal.
You're absolutely right.
All right, thanks so much, Kelly. Well, every Sunday, Pat Sullivan from Sullivan Hardware and Garden provides some great advice for do-it-yourself home improvements. Today, he's talking about taking care of your Christmas tree.
You know, this weekend is the #1 weekend to buy a fresh cut tree. So everyone's going to go piling out there to the lots, to the fresh cut lots. All right, here's a few things to think about. Number one, if you are going to set up your tree later, some people will say, well, you know what, I'm going to wait so I get a fresher tree. Well, if it's a lot where it's cut trees, you know what, most trees are cut generally by Thanksgiving. So the best thing you can do is get the tree out of the wind, get it in some water, and that's what's going to keep it fresh. Not not waiting to buy it. So even if you're not going to set it up for another week or 2 weeks, go ahead and get it and get it in some water. So once you pick out the perfect tree, this is a North Carolina Fraser fir. Of course, there's Scotch pine and some of the other fir trees that grow well in Indiana. So at the tree lot, generally they'll ask you if you want a fresh cut. So what you want to do is take off about an inch so you can kind of see what it was, and what you want to do is a fresh cut, and then you want to get it in water within about 2 hours, because what happens, this will sap over again and then will no longer take water. The other thing you want to do is you don't want to strip the bark, because those are the little straws in the uptake of the water. So don't go pulling the bark off the tree. Just a nice 1-inch cut, get that thing in water. All right, so that's the other thing. So when you get it inside, try to keep it away from the registers. I know that sometimes is hard. If you can't, try to get a deflector, shut it, keep the heat off that tree the best you can. Don't let it run out of water. A lot of people want to use some additive to it. There's some things that some people say, well, you know, I hear 7-Up, I hear aspirin. You can buy a commercial, you know, it seems to work fine. You may want to get a tree bag and kind of bunch that underneath the stand so that when you are ready to pull it out, you can pull it up over the top of the tree and have fewer needles into the carpet. So, you know, ideally, people want to keep putting their trees in earlier and earlier, and I think that's kind of a problem. You know, about the 10th of December, they'll last a good 3 to 4 weeks inside. So obviously, that's what you want to do. Now, the last thing, when you're buying a tree, and this is mainly for guys, we see so many fights here on the tree lot, and it's usually girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, and it usually involves the guy. All right, if you are helping to pick out the tree, you need to have an opinion, but not too much of an opinion. The worst thing you can say is, I don't care, get whatever you want. They don't like that. That starts a fight right away. But then on the flip side, if you have too much of an opinion, that doesn't work well either. Learn how to have an opinion and not too much, because ultimately it is not your choice.
Pat Sullivan, hardware advice and marital advice. Thank you very much, Pat. And also, always trying to sell something in there as well. Playing with some added motivation, the Colts hit the field with something more than another victory to play for. Sports anchor Rich Nye is on the road with the team. He's going to get you ready for kickoff. Also, another heated night of protests around the country after the Eric Garner decision. We're going to show you what happened and tell you about a demonstration that is occurring today in Indianapolis. You ever listen to a show?
Yes, I listened to him even yesterday because they were doing.
A playoff spot and a division title are on the line for the Indianapolis Colts today. An Indy win coupled with a Houston Texans loss would give the Colts the playoff berth. Our Rich Nye has more from Cleveland, Ohio, and the banks of Lake Erie.
A strong breeze blowing off Lake Erie in Cleveland, but the forecast for the Colts and Browns Sunday is actually 37 degrees and sunny. Not bad for December. Colts head coach Chuck Pagano began his coaching career here in Cleveland, and he says that kind of forecast for December is hard to believe.
I don't know in 4 years if I've ever coached a game from 01 to 04, if that ever happened in the month of December. Usually got gray around, I don't know, September. The sun came back out in May.
How would you describe that dog pound, that flavor of a Cleveland game?
Oh man, it's crazy, man. You know, it's crazy, man. You gotta love that dog pound, man. There's nothing like it in the NFL world, man. That's probably the closest thing it's gonna get to Alabama fans.
Trey Richardson is one of 4 former Browns who will take on his former team on Sunday. Colts cornerback Vontae Davis will not play as he recovers from a concussion. And we'll have a live report on Sunday at 6 o'clock on Eyewitness News from Cleveland. I'm Rich Nye, Channel 13 Eyewitness Sports.
All right, thanks so much, Rich. And again, we'll hear from Rich again later this morning. He and WTHR.com's Bob Kravitz will break down the matchup in our next half hour. Well, it is a special anniversary. 1 year ago today, Eskenazi Hospital opened its doors for the very first time. We're going to show you how they are celebrating their first birthday.
And it is a crisp and frosty start this morning with temperatures falling into the mid-20s this morning. Check out Lafayette, 25 degrees, 24 in Richmond, 25 in Marion. We'll see a nice warm up today, more sunshine on tap. I'll have the details.
I will learn. That's awesome. But it's awesome. So I'm a big composter. I love the compost. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Beautiful too. So pretty. Yeah. All right, back at the clock.
Sherry, how you doing?
Good. I've got some fun stuff for us this morning.
You do. Calls for justice reach a 4th straight day nationwide. We'll show you where things got out of hand overnight. Also, one candle on the cake. It's a special day for doctors and nurses at one of the city's major hospitals.
And after a cloudy, gloomy day yesterday, we'll enjoy more sunshine today. We're also tracking a chance of rain. I'll have the details.
From Indiana's news leader, Eyewitness News Weekend Sunrise starts now.
Good morning. Welcome to Weekend Sunrise on this Sunday. I'm Jeremy Brilliant in for Naomi alongside Kelly Green. It is 7:30. It's in the 20s out there. It is crisp. It is clear.
Yes.
But you're saying it's going to be sunny, which is a little bit better than yesterday.
Yes. You know, yesterday really was a gloomy day. We started off very damp with some heavy rainfall, and then things have improved as we've headed overnight. This morning, things have really cleared out, and that's all due to high pressure, but that's going to be pretty short-lived because we do have a clipper system that will move in a little bit later on tonight on into tomorrow. So in the meantime, let's enjoy some abundant sunshine to start off our day. Already tracking a beautiful start across our HD sky cam. Currently 27 degrees. Winds are out of the east-northeast 7 miles per hour, and that is giving us a wind chill value, making it feel like it is 19 degrees. And temperatures tumbling into the mid-20s all across central Indiana. Currently 27 in Muncie, still 29 in Bloomington, 26 degrees in Crawfordsville. And temperatures today will be chilly today, but we will see a bit of an improvement than we did yesterday. So as far as our wind chill values go, we'll see them in the low 20s through the morning hours, but then as we head into the afternoon, still going to be in the low 30s. But again, a brighter day, much more sunshine, and we'll enjoy a quiet, dry day today because we are tracking a chance of rain for tomorrow. More details about that coming up in your SkyTrack 13 forecast.
New on Weekend Sunrise, officials say 2 police officers were injured in a protest in Berkeley, California that was held in response to grand jury decisions not to indict in the deaths of Michael Brown and Eric Gardner. We're told the protest turned violent when some of the demonstrators threw objects at police. As you can see in this video, police used tear gas and smoke grenades as a way to break up the crowd. Officials say the protesters also smashed windows and several businesses were looted. There have been no reports of any arrests at this time. And there continue to be calls for justice all across the nation as NBC's Dan Shinneman explains, those protests are now expanding to include other controversial cases.
I can't breathe! I can't breathe!
From Manhattan,
a lot of us, people of color, feel like there's a pattern, and we just want to voice our concern about that and let that be known.
To Marietta, Georgia.
The cause is to get the public to understand that we have some issues that we have to fix as a society.
Thousands took to the streets Saturday, a 4th straight day of demonstrations. With a refrain that's grown familiar, echoing from Hollywood to Houston,
Justice, no peace,
to the suburbs of New York, where on Friday, marchers had a message. Their concerns extend far beyond what happened to Eric Gardner and Ferguson's Michael Brown.
We can talk about Kenneth Chamberlain Sr. that was shot in the White Plains projects, DJ Henry that was shot.
Cases like in Cleveland, where a grand jury has been impaneled after 12-year-old Tamir Rice was shot and killed by police after brandishing what turned out to be an air pistol. His family has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the officer and the city. And in Brooklyn, where a grand jury will hear evidence in the killing of Aka Gurley, an unarmed 28-year-old shot by an officer.
Grand jury, you must indict.
But many are now questioning that grand jury system.
The system itself is clearly problematic and ridden with conflicts when it comes to investigating police officers.
As demonstrations in many cities across the country grow. Dan Shinneman, NBC News.
And Indianapolis will join in the calls for justice, peace, and change today. An All Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter rally will take place at the Julia Carson Government Center. This is at 3 p.m. today. Everyone is invited. That includes police officers, pastors, and political leaders. It has been a year since one of the city's largest hospitals opened its doors for the first time, and in that year, Eskenazi Hospital will tell you they've taken health care to a new level in patient and employee care. This morning, Weekend Sunrise reporter Carrie Klein joins us live from outside Eskenazi with more on how employees are reflecting on that first year.
Yeah, this beautiful facility, Jeremy, was years in the making, and thanks to a very generous donation from Sydney and Lois Eskenazi, today it is a reality, and not only celebrating 1 year of age, but also a year of milestones. But first, let's go back to 1 year ago, to a day of labor and delivery, so to speak. A year ago, on a very cold morning similar to this one, teams of doctors and nurses labored to carefully deliver about 150 patients from the old Wishart Hospital across the parking lot to the new Eskenazi Hospital. After just a few hours of labor, that delivery was complete, and this hospital has been growing ever since. The hospital says it's seen a big increase in patients, particularly in births, with an increase of 25% of babies delivered here. But they're also seeing the positive effects of their many support programs like art, music, even the Sky Farm on top of the building producing fresh produce for patients and staff. And all of that is just the beginning.
I get letters all the time about
expressing appreciation for the private rooms, the fact that it's very comfortable now for families and loved ones to be able to stay and support those who are in the hospital. We have comfortable places for them to sit and sleep at the bedside. Our nurses love, probably what I hear most is how they love how quiet it is.
The hospital has been great. The greatest hospital that I've ever been in. That the people, the way they are taking care of me.
And looking at the numbers, Eskenazi has seen an increase in inpatient care, trauma care, and that whopping 25% in births or deliveries here that we talked about as well. And this hospital looking forward to helping even more people in year 2. Reporting live from downtown, Carrie Klein, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks so much, Carrie, on this first-year anniversary of Eskenazi Hospital. Ohio State fans that we ran into this weekend waking up happy this morning after a definitive victory. You can't call it anything less than that. In last night's Big Ten championship game, Buckeyes fans outnumbered Badger fans by a wide margin, and the team thanked their supporters by delivering a thorough beatdown of Wisconsin at Lucas Oil Stadium. Third-string quarterback Cardell Jones stepped up big, throwing 3 touchdown passes, leading Ohio State to the 59-0 rout. And afterwards, they got to lift the hardware they had never won before, the Big Ten championship trophy. Now, Coach Urban Meyer and his team must wait to see if they impress the College Football Playoffs Committee enough to get into the Final Four. TCU and Baylor also won yesterday, leaving the committee with the unenviable task of having to decide which of the 3 is most worthy to play for the national title.
2, 1, beginning!
And before the players took to the field last night, a different type of sporting event played out on Georgia Street, Major League Eating. St. Elmo's world-famous and also extremely spicy shrimp cocktail was the dish of choice for the 2nd annual championship. Some of the world's top professional eaters went head-to-head, trying to devour as much as possible in just 8 minutes. Top-ranked Joey Chestnut defended his title and even set a world record, eating a whopping 10.4 pounds of shrimp cocktail. And take a look before the pros took to the stage. We'll be there in a second. Our own Jason Spells there he is, battled it out with some of the other local contestants.
That forced him to scramble.
Attending yesterday's events downtown, Eyewitness News reporter Kevin Rader gives us a little taste.
That forced him to scramble.
The sound of football is in the air. Fans from Ohio State and Wisconsin are fanning those flames.
You ready? You want to buy me a beer? I'll take a beer. Sure. Let's go. All right, let's go, man. I'm ready. I was trying to hold out. Go do it. I was trying to hold out till 11, but so much for that.
As the Wisconsin Badgers made their way through the convention center toward Lucas Oil Stadium, fans outside were sharing camaraderie that only comes prior to kickoff. They may disagree on the game tonight, but they agree on Indianapolis.
It's not snowing and it's not raining. What more do you want?
Yeah.
I don't have to wear a parka. I'm happy.
Just a nice place. Everybody's like welcoming. It's like, hey, you know what? No matter what team you're from, everybody's really hospitable. It's like, hey, you know, it's all about, you know, sports and having a good time. Man.
Melvin Gordon for the Heisman.
Badger fans are just as impressed with Indy.
The facilities are downtown, the restaurants, you don't need a car, everything's walkable. It's fabulous.
Everybody's polite, everybody's really nice.
People. Yeah.
They have all come to watch their team hoist the Amos Alonzo Stagg Championship trophy. But they're willing to work in some Big Ten trivia, little agility drills, and even a 40-yard dash. Big Ten Commissioner Jim Delaney says he's excited Indianapolis will continue to host this title tilt through 2021.
Tremendous facilities, but also it's a turnkey operation that people here really know how to go after events. They really know how to, you know, welcome guests, welcome teams, welcome coaches, and you know, the intimacy and the connectivity of the community and the venues makes it really a good place.
That will give some 7 more years to work on that 40 time. Kevin Rader, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.
And that decision by the Big Ten means the first 11 conference championship games will be played right here in Indianapolis. It is 7:39, 27 degrees, crisp outside,
yes.
Nice and cool.
It is definitely a chilly start, but we will enjoy more sunshine later this afternoon. Currently 27 in Greenwood, 30 degrees in Bloomington, West Lafayette, 26 degrees and 25 in Kokomo. I'll let you know how warm it gets today. Plus, we are tracking a chance of rain in your forecast. I'll have the details.
And making sure no one goes hungry this holiday season. Coming up, we'll introduce you to a group that's filling the stomachs and much more of the less fortunate.
One, two.
A gift from the congregation at New Life Worship Center on the near northwest side. Hundreds of people got enough food yesterday to prepare several meals, but that's not all they got.
I know it's 11 o'clock in the morning, but I came to have a party in Jesus.
There's no doubt a box of food will help.
It means a lot, actually.
But here at New Life Worship Center, they're getting nourished, both physically and spiritually.
So God, we just thank you for the blessing that you have made.
1,000 people will leave with a box filled with staples
Let her be blessed, oh God.
and a heart overflowing with prayer.
It is my way of giving back. That's what I can do today. That's what I wanted to do today.
Hundreds of volunteers made this happen,
Happy holidays.
including Indiana Fever star Tamika Catchings, who is here representing her foundation, but this is also her church.
But it's awesome to be able to come out here and be able to do it. Put that wall on.
And they're giving to those who need it most.
It's hard out here right now. It's hard. It's hard. Everybody's going through it right now. And so, you know, this type of stuff makes it easier. It makes it a little bit easier.
Got one more.
So no doubt the food will help.
Good? Good? All right, all right.
I got a smile on my face. My heart feels good. I got some prayer, you know, and can't go wrong with that.
But the spiritual nourishment may be just as important.
You know he loves you, right? I know he does. Can't go wrong with that.
In addition to New Life, contributions were also made by the NCAA, LESEA, Global Feed the Hungry, and the Catch the Stars Foundation. It was a great day out there yesterday. Definitely chilly for everybody who showed up. But today's going to be even colder, but a little sunnier. So
yes,
maybe
we'll
it's
take the sunshine over the clouds that we had yesterday.
True, yeah.
And it was damp yesterday morning, but things definitely have improved. And we have a few high clouds that are starting to build back in again. And that will be the case throughout the day today, but not going to impact our sunshine. We are going to start off just very bright today. We are tracking this next weather maker. It is a clipper system that will drift across the Great Lakes area, and that's what's kicking in some of these clouds for us today. Here's a look from our Morris Reservoir cam in Cicero. What a beautiful sunrise there. And again, it is going to be gorgeous all across central Indiana. Just a little chilly though. Currently 27 degrees. Winds are out of the east-northeast at 7 miles per hour. And check out that wind chill value, making it feel like it is 19 degrees. And temperatures running much colder than yesterday at this time, from 10 close to 15 degrees colder this morning than yesterday. The good news is yesterday did stay above that freezing mark, so we had a rain-only event. And we are tracking a chance of more rain, and I'll get to that in just a moment. But right now it is 27 in Muncie, 28 degrees in Greensburg, 27 in Columbus, 25 in Lafayette. But then when we factor in the wind chill value, it feels like it's in the teens in our north central viewing area, as well as the 20s in our south central viewing area. Now today we will see abundant sunshine to start off the day. Again, we'll start to see those clouds streaming in off of that next system. So notice by late afternoon a few more clouds will be in store, but likely a beautiful afternoon with a lot of sunshine to start off. Temperatures climb into the upper 30s, a few degrees below average, and we'll still have a bit of a wind chill thanks to these breezes out of the east from about 5 to 10 miles per hour, although not as breezy as it was yesterday. And Cleveland, it's going to be a beautiful day there for some football. Of course, the Colts taking on the Browns, and just fantastic football weather, dry conditions, sunny skies, temperatures at kickoff 37 degrees. Go Colts. Now back here later on, again, we'll still see those clouds thickening up as we head into the evening. Temperatures tonight will fall into the low 30s, running several degrees above average, but this will be ahead of our next weather maker. So temperatures down to around 32 degrees. We'll start off dry tomorrow morning with that cold front moving in a little bit closer as we head into the mid-morning hours. In the meantime, winds will be out of the south-southwest from 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, as you can see here on Future Track 13 at 7 a.m., Central Indiana should be dry. This front looks like it's slowing down quite a bit. It will begin to push in as we head into mid-morning and late afternoon. So this will track on across the area by 11:45, moving across the Indiana border as we head into about 2-3 o'clock this afternoon. It'll move across Indianapolis, and then it'll start to push on out of here. But on the back side of the system, we'll see some cooler air moving in, so any leftover moisture by later on Monday night could be in the form of a few light snow showers. Not expecting any accumulation out of that. Temperatures tomorrow afternoon climbing to near 42 degrees in Indianapolis, 38 in Peru as well as Lafayette. 40 degrees in Rushville, 39 degrees in Richmond, and 39 the high in Muncie. And here's a look at your 7-day forecast. 39 again for today, a brighter day than yesterday. Temperatures fall to 32 degrees tomorrow morning. May see a few light rain showers during the day on Monday, especially mid-morning into late afternoon. And a few light snow showers will be possible Monday night. A few flurries possible on Tuesday. And notice much colder air moves in for a few days. 36 on Tuesday, 35 and dry on Wednesday, and we do see a warming trend starting to kick in by Friday on through the weekend. Jeremy?
All right, thanks so much, Kelly. You want to celebrate the holidays, but you also want to save a few bucks, and here with a few Christmas spending hacks is the Queen of Free, aka Sherry Lowe. Sometimes we call you that as well. You got all kinds of ideas, creative things, and ways that people can obviously have some fun, save some money. Just go down the line, tell us what you got.
We're going to knock off your elf socks and ring your jingle bells this morning.
Okay.
These are super fun ideas that are very, very easy, beginning with wrapping paper. So if you're like me, wrapping paper gets tossed into the closet, and sometimes we don't do a very good job of keeping it. It gets crumpled and wrinkled up. And you can make a very simple wrapping paper keeper just with a toilet paper tube and a piece of aluminum foil. You simply cut it straight down the center, wrap it in the foil, and then it clasps onto the wrapping paper just like that. Makes a cuff on there, holds it in place, keeps it from being a mess.
So you don't end up losing the few inches there on the end every time.
Yes, exactly. And then, you know, if you want to make some fancy holiday drinks for your guests, you want hot chocolate or maybe a cappuccino drink, you can make this really pretty easy shaved chocolate to garnish it on top. You use a potato peeler or vegetable peeler that you already have in your kitchen, a very easy, chocolate bar you can pick up anywhere, and just shave it right there. Bonus points is if you go ahead and throw it in the freezer in a Ziploc bag, because it'll hold its shape a little bit longer and not melt.
This is my favorite one.
This is so much fun. I am a non-crafty as they come. You can make your own snow slime simply using glue, borax, glitter, and water. And I have the recipe out on Queen of Free today. Basically, it makes this really fun, squishy stuff. I like to throw it into the refrigerator so that it, feels like snow. All the advantages of playing in the snow without going outside and getting cold.
It's crazy. I mean, it's really kind of like,
Flubber.
it's not quite Play-Doh and not quite rubber, and just right in the middle
and
there.
And it's not too sticky either, or stinky either.
Huh.
And then a last couple of tips. Using dental floss to strain your cranberries, it's sturdier, and since it's waxed, it will slide down that a little bit easier and make it simpler for you to do that. And finally, probably my favorite, packing tape is so annoying when it gets caught on the roll and you scrape at it with your fingernail and you can't quite get it off. So you can use something as simple as a bread tab to hold your place so that you're ready to use it. Or if you don't have that, a penny will work as well.
A penny, great idea. So you don't spend hours trying to find the edge there.
Yes,
All right.
very easy.
All right, great ideas, Sherry Lowe. Thank you so much. And we do have a link to your blog at our site, WTHR.com, with the recipes and all these things. More great ideas to help you celebrate the holidays. Thanks so much, Sherry. And the Colts are in Cleveland this weekend, so are Rich and I and Bob Kravitz, and here they are with what's coming up next in sports.
The Colts and the Browns today in Cleveland. Bob, let's hope the Colts don't have a mistake by the lake.
I lived here for 4 years. I'm glad I left. It's a great town, it really is. But you don't see the sun for months on end. It's cold, it's windy, it's brutal, it's Cleveland.
We're supposed to see the sun today, and hopefully a Colts win. We'll have a preview coming up.
And you pour that into this, and when it
Hello from Cleveland, standing next to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and behind us, First Energy Stadium, where today the Colts take on the Cleveland Browns. And next to me is rock star Bob Kravitz.
Nick Jagger, I prefer.
They tell us 37 degrees and sunny today. I guess we should appreciate that for December.
Well, look, I've lived here. I lived here for 4 years and didn't see the sun once. Okay, so until I actually see the sun, I ain't gonna believe it.
And I guess we're not going to see Johnny Manziel, at least not at the start of the game today.
No, I think that Brian Hoyer is going to be on a very short leash. I think the fans here are very impatient. I think if he starts out slow, we may see Johnny Manziel as soon as the second quarter.
And unfortunately, we're also not going to see Vontae Davis for the Colts. That's a big loss, isn't it?
He's a Pro Bowl cornerback. Receivers are only catching the ball. I think quarterbacks, their rating against Vontae Davis is 41.7. Has not allowed a touchdown all season long. It's going to have to be a big day for Gordy, for Butler, and for Toller.
The Colts could clinch a playoff spot today if they get some help from Jacksonville. This is a game, though, that the Colts should win, right?
I think they should win it. I mean, you know, Cleveland can't keep up with them on the scoreboard. I don't believe. You know, I think if they can hold Cleveland to under 21 to 23 points, the Colts ought to win this game, don't you think?
I think so.
I mean, it's the type of game they ought to win.
I think we should go inside and warm up as well.
Let's do it.
Bob Kravitz, WTHR.com. I'm Rich Knight. We'll have Colts coverage for you tonight, live from First Energy Stadium at 6 o'clock.
All right, thanks so much, gentlemen. And there were some big games among the college basketball ranks, and Jason Spells gives you those highlights.
December upsets are nothing new to college basketball, but everyone was shocked at the final of the Michigan game yesterday. Yeah, I'm talking about number 17 Michigan, the 43,000 student strong University of Michigan, as they lost 73-70 to the New Jersey Institute of Technology, the only Division I school without a conference. You thought Michigan football was having a tough year. IU and the rest of the Big Ten on notice after the Wolverines L. Indiana hosting Savannah State. Let me take you to the Assembly Hall. IU coming after, following up that big win over Pitt. Yogi Ferrell had 18 points and 7 assists. This one to James Blackman Jr., 18 for Blackman as well. Then Ferrell to another freshman, Robert Johnson. Indiana cruising. Johnson even getting involved in the assist alley-oop to Troy Williams. Indiana wins it 95-49. The Butler Bulldogs are one of the early surprises of this young college basketball season. The Dogs 5-1 on the year and ranked number 23 in the country. Butler hosting Northwestern. It's the Wildcats' second road game of the season. Early trip to Indiana. You know they'll be back for Big Ten play. Kellen Dunham right at home. 19 for him. Butler scored 22 of their first 34 in the paint. Northwestern still in it late. Vic Law. 3-ball good. Wildcats down just 3. Butler, though, ices it on defense. Alex Barlow steps into the passing lane, gets the steal, and finishes it off. Dogs 65, Wildcats 56. Back to the Big Ten. Purdue hosting North Florida. The Ospreys, Isaac Haas with 14 points off the bench. But North Florida, with a shocker, comes into Mackey and wins it 73-7.
It is 27 degrees, 757, going to be a chilly day.
Yes, it's chilly, but thank goodness we're going to see more sunshine today. Temperatures this afternoon will climb into the upper 30s, and then we do have a chance of some light rain, mainly mid-morning Monday through late afternoon. High of 41. Could see a few light snow showers late Monday night into Tuesday morning, and a few flurries possible on Tuesday.
All right, we're going to take a break for an hour. We're going to be back at 9 o'clock. Have a great morning, everyone.